I'm good now.
Am I out of the picture? I don't want to distract from
No.
So you're living in 18 square feet, shanty,
18-foot square.
18-foot square, and your dad. So after the snow season, what was his job?
I don't remember the sequence, but before long he decided to make a living being a carpenter, so he became a skilled carpenter. And the newest house in town, by one of the more well-off people, my dad did all the finish work on the trim, and it was natural wood. You could see the grain, so it had to be done pretty carefully. And he did all the trim for the doorways and baseboard. He didn't build the house. And so he got to be known as a good finish carpenter. But then he decided to build buildings, and he built 3 churches. One in town and one west of town. And forgotten where the other one is.
And next time you come to Freeport, I have a stool, a step stool that he built.
Have you built here that nice car?
Yeah. So it's really old.
Where is it?
So we moved after 1 year to a place we rented while he was working as a carpenter, and probably even before, while he was a snowplow driver and general mechanic. And then, so I went to grade school in the first one up there. Well, I started school down in the first county I told you about. One-room school, no more square foot than this house on one floor. And the teacher had all 8 grades, one teacher. So we'd have the first grade up there, I suppose sometimes the first and second, and then they'd go up and sit along the front, and we were in the back. We heard everything that went on, and then the next grades, and then the next grades. Some of them were only 3 or 4 kids in the class, but I suppose there were maybe 30 or 40 kids altogether, so the teacher really had a sizable load. And the Gladden was the same thing when we moved up northwest. I don't remember what grade I was in, but then we rented a place about 8 miles west of Gladden and went to a 2-teacher school with 2 rooms. Well, that was really quite a different experience. And then from there, I went 8 grades there and then started high school, and then took a bus into high school. So that's it.
And how many of your classmates in high school went to college?
I really don't have a good number, but it was a very small percentage, very small.
How many of your classmates finished at 8th grade and didn't go to high school?
The majority didn't go to high school.
Back then, you only had to go till 8th grade.
My dad only went to 8th grade. My mother went on to a teacher's college. But money was so scarce that when it was time to go buy groceries, if we had money for one jawbreaker, that was our candy for 2 weeks or something.
And you would share it? You would all lick it?
No, we each had one.
And do you remember any of the things that you did with your friends for fun when you were John's age? Like what kinds of things would the kids do?
There were no near neighbors. Our nearest neighbors would have been a mile away when we were in the shanty. When we moved over to the rental place, the nearest neighbors would have been half a mile So there wasn't a great deal of playing together with the kids. So we learned to play by ourselves.
How about when high school came? You weren't able to play sports.
No, the transportation was not available to be there for.
And then I remember you saying you started working in high school, right?
I worked in a hardware store, and I was the battery charging department.
The battery charging department?
That's what I remember.
I didn't remember.
John, do you have any other questions?
Not really.
But that was a big deal to earn enough money to buy my first used car, $50, Model A Ford. There's still a few around. They're completely antique, but they're kind of prized now.
Probably worth much more than $50.
Right. If they've been maintained at all, they're worth a lot more.
Grandpa isn't afraid of driving on ice and snow. You know, most of us are like, oh, it's so slippery. Tell them where you got your experience.
We lived near, later on we moved to a second rental place, and we weren't too far from the lake, and in the winter freeze over that deep. In cold winters. We'd drive around on the lake and have a lot of fun driving. Cars spin around. So basically I learned very early how to correct if you start skidding on the ice on a road. You can correct for that if you're not going an unreasonable speed. You go slow down.